welcome to my brand new series. This is the brand new playlist, and in this playlist, we are going to talk about Svelte JS. So, you might have heard about the Svelte JS. This is getting popular, and this is different from whatever we are writing the Angular, JavaScript, and Angular, React, or any other framework. So, it has a lot of special features which due to which I started looking into it, and then when I started building projects, I really like it. So there are a lot of things you are going to like with the Svelte JS, because Svelte JS is a framework which every JavaScript developer must see at least. It's not like, okay, I don't want to use it, I already have multiple frameworks which I can work with, but there is something really different in Svelte JS than any other framework. The reactivity in Svelte JS is really different and really fast, and you should look into the Svelte JS. So what we are going to do is we are going to write a lot of small applications and finally a couple of big applications. First, we are going to talk about simple examples. Okay, you already know that I put a lot of videos on different frameworks since the beginning. I was covering Angular JS, Angular, then React, Angular, then server-side rendered framework like Next.js, Next.js, Vue.js, and a lot of client-side and server-side, lot of videos I have covered. But this Svelte JS is really a different framework in a lot of different ways, and that is what I'm going to cover here, and you are going to like it, that I can be sure of. Here we are going to cover a lot of small scale applications, and then we will see how we can build a intermediate level applications and then deploy those applications. So what we are going to do is, these are like some intermediate and enterprise level applications we will build. Like I'm already covering Uber Eats clone, and there I am planning to use one of the dashboard built by Svelte JS or Svelte Kit. Maybe Svelte Kit is just another add-on which allows you to build a server-side rendered application. It is same as like we have a Next.js. Similarly, there is a Svelte Kit. So what we can do is let's start and let's dive into right away into Svelte JS. We are going to unfold the mystery of front-end framework, and we will see how Svelte JS is really different piece from other frameworks. So this is the first. So now we can get started, and we will just talk about Svelte JS and the journey of the web development in like 20 years, because 20 years down the line we started using jQuery for the DOM manipulations, and then we were writing the two-tier applications. There was a client and there was server. So all the applications we built is just like, okay, there was a client and client is talking to the server, and for that those kind of communications we were just using plain AJAX, and we were doing DOM manipulations using jQuery. After that we start evolving. We released these different framework like Angular JS, then Angular, then React, then Vue.js, and a lot of different framework really exist as of today. Okay, Svelte JS is also inclined towards JavaScript. It's not like a lot of new syntax and a lot of core syntax you are going to learn. It's more like plain JavaScript, but Svelte JS compiles the code base in its own language, and then it sends the compiled code to the browser. Okay, so modern web applications, you see whatever you are writing in the React, Angular, what we do, we write JavaScript, TypeScript, and then we compile it. We use different syntax for React, different syntax for Angular and Vue.js. We compile it and then we send it to the compile output to the browser. Browser reads HTML, JavaScript, and browser is able to render that content on the UI. So what is the major difference here? Because all these frameworks are doing the same job. Every framework is doing, okay, there is a data, I can read it. If there is a change, you change something on the component, okay, I will re-render stuff on the UI. So if we talk about these different framework, like, okay, I have a React, I have Angular. So what all these frameworks are indirectly doing? They are trying to show the change, because when user will be playing with the front end, they will click here, scroll the pages, start interacting the pages. The responsibility of these framework to do the change detections and show the changes to the user using their strategies. Okay, somebody uses the re-rendering process. Okay, user clicks on here and there, user change something, then they actually provides reactive interface. Reactive means there will be some change and then there is a re-rendering or reconciliation process starts, and that shows the updated changes to the user. Now, this is the really important part, because all the frameworks differ in this strategy. Vue.js does it differently, Angular totally does it differently, and the React. We were talking about, okay, having virtual DOM in the React. Wherever there is a change, it actually first applies the changes to the internal memory DOM, and then it applies those changes to the actual DOM which is available on the browser, and it does using a diff algorithm, and it is known, okay, this is the fastest. Okay, so we are going to destroy a lot of myths about, okay, how the virtual DOM works, because this Svelte JS is reactive and it is not using any kind of virtual DOM. Angular change detection strategy also aligned with the virtual DOM. So the major difference is the Svelte JS is very much reactive. It knows how to react when there is a change happens on your component, because we are going to, at the end, we are going to write the components in the Svelte JS. Similarly, Vue.js does it differently using object change detection. So those are the major difference, and we will try to see how Svelte.js is trying to solve those kind of thing. Here we will also use some kind of CLI tool to create the Svelte.js app, and then we will see how it is different from any other framework. Okay, so I will stop talking the theoretical part and let's deep dive into Svelte.js.